Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Dee about to react to this impressive vid. So she is covering Nicki Minaj's one-sided beef with Jay-Z, all right? Nicki is going off on Jay-Z again, and you know, she has a lot to say about him, so she tweeting her little life away. So we're gonna see what she had to say about all this, okay? Y'all asked me to react to it, so here we are, you know, and I said in the vid concerning Nicki yesterday that, you know, I'm not personally interested in Nicki's shenanigans and, you know, her tweets and whatnot, but it's not about me, okay? This channel is for me to react to things that y'all ask me to react to. So who cares if I'm personally interested in it or not? If I'm being real, most of the shit I react to, I don't care about or I don't have a personal interest in. But this is my job. So y'all ask and you shall receive. So here we are. I put up things that I'm interested in on Patreon. That's what Patreon is for. And speaking of, I just uploaded Cardi B's SNL performance on Patreon. Also, a Baddies episode went up today. I'm doing the whole season over there. J. Cole's mixtape, J. Cole's album, Grammy performances are all going up this week. So check it out if you're interested. Link down below. Those are the things I'm interested in reacting to. You know, that's on Patreon, but over here, sure. And if y'all want to get into the nonsense, sure, why not? Let's get into it.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Impressive channel. Now, there has been a lot of mess happening in the news. The Department of Justice actually dropped over 3 million pages of the Epstein files, and that has everybody talking. And before I get into this video, a few of the reasons why the internet is EPN today. Now back to the video. The deceased criminal, Jeffrey Epstein, was, for those who don't know, a wealthy financier who had ties to the CIA, the FBI, and the Israeli intelligence Mossad, and he was a human trafficker. He also was a predator. He and his right-hand woman, Ghislaine Maxwell, trafficked women and men and minors to powerful figures, billionaires, celebrities, and politicians in the world, and they blackmailed them. And there were many names that were brought up in the files. Now, they did put a disclaimer that some of the information that were in the files were fake and falsely submitted, and they even said that there were false claims about Donald Trump in those files. Now, I don't believe Donald Trump is innocent at all, especially with how much he was around Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. So his hands definitely aren't clean. And I just wonder, when are they going to really start arresting people? Because they need to bring justice to these victims. Like, I'm done talking about this. People need to be going to prison for life. Like, where are the arrests? What's going on? But anyway, there was a lot of disturbing things in these files. Victims were being tortured. In one email, it said that one of the victims were a part of a ritualistic sacrifice where his feet was cut. Also, they witnessed things being dismembered and people eating matter from their intestines. I mean, this stuff right here is sick. It's sick. And one of the male victims was R.'d by George Bush Sr. Bill Clinton is all up in those files.
And Junior.
I remember one witness testified that Bill Clinton was into little girls, which is absolutely sick. Also, Prince Andrew was nasty. He was oftentimes messing with minors, and he tortured and unalived a girl. Also, Epstein said in one of his emails that Bill Gates was messing with some of the trafficking victims. He actually allegedly caught an STD messing with Russian girls, and he gave the STD to his wife Melinda and tried to secretly medicate her. Also, the CEO of TMZ, Harvey Levin, was brought up in the Epstein emails, and he was described as a good friend who could help run a campaign to defend Jeffrey.
That is so trifling. Imagine your husband, okay, giving you an STD. And they find out they got it first, so they like, oh shit, if I got it, then she got it too. So let me try to slip, you know, this this medication in her food so I can cure her without her realizing. That is wild.
Epstein. That's very telling. Also, Jay-Z and Pusha T's names were brought up. Now, this wasn't brought up in an email, but it was an anonymous tip-off by somebody who claimed that in 1996, a presumably underage victim was abducted, and she woke up in the presence of Harvey Weinstein and Jay-Z while Harvey was fingering her. And she said this may have happened at Epstein's mansion. It was also said in 2006 that the victim was drugged frequently by different handlers, and one of the handlers was Pusha T. And in 2007, the victim went to a party and she was drugged and essayed by Harvey Weinstein and Pusha T. Now, when this news made the headlines, a lot of people were gagged, okay? And a lot of people also didn't believe it, especially about Jay-Z. And I think it was more so because of the timing, because in 1996, Jay-Z was a new artist to the public. He dropped his debut album. So many people don't believe that he was even on Harvey Weinstein's radar like that to even be around him. But he wasn't a nobody because he actually was known in some hip-hop circles.
I'm not saying this is true. I don't know these fucking people, okay? I'm not confirming or denying anything. Obviously, I cannot do that. But I don't think that's a reason to be like, well, he wasn't even popping like that. If someone who's very powerful, if they fuck with you, like, wait, I like this person's music, I really like them, they could invite him just because they really liked his album. It doesn't matter how new he was or how powerful he was himself. Sometimes you have these powerful people who take newer artists under their wing because they see potential in them, and they're like, I fuck with you, I like you, you know, I like your music, I like what you're doing. Hey, come hang out with us. Let me take you under my wing type shit. You know, that's not uncommon at all. That happens a lot. That's actually how you have these smaller artists end up being super big, because they end up getting pulled into these powerful circles and they end up networking with these people, and it, you know, elevates their careers even more. But everybody has to start somewhere. So I don't think that's reason enough to be like, well, he had just come out. From my understanding, that his debut album was like super successful and people really fucked with it. So it's not too far of a stretch for somebody of power to be like, yeah, I fuck with this album so much and I like this kid a lot. So hey, we reaching out to you, come hang out with us. Again, I'm not saying this happened, but I don't think this is enough to be like, there's no way. Like, there's a way. There's a way.
He was doing music since the 80s.
I met Jay-Z before I moved to this country. Jazzo.
In this too.
Since the 80s.
I met Jay-Z before I moved to this country. Jazzo and Jay-Z were in London living it big time back in like 88. They were in this huge...
There you go.
Born and raised in England, and I never...
He probably was fucking with Jay-Z's music since he was underground in the 80s and was like, hey, I like this black kid. Wait, now you doing bigger things and you release your debut album, I fuck with you. Again, I'm not saying this happened, but I hate when people be like, oh, this is impossible. It couldn't have ever happened. This doesn't make any sense. Anything is possible. This is how people network in these circles. Like, yeah, if they think you're super talented and they fuck with you, they could bring you into their circle. Doesn't matter that they're much more powerful than you. That happens.
Or an apartment that looked like that in England, or a flat.
So Jay-Z definitely wasn't a nobody, but do I believe that he was around Harvey Weinstein in 1996? Honestly, I don't think so. But later on in Jay-Z's career, he has been heavily tied to Harvey Weinstein because Jay-Z was trying to get in the film and TV industry, and he saw Harvey as a vehicle to do that. And that's one thing about Jay-Z. Like, anytime he wants to enter in a certain space, he always connects with these rich, powerful figures to do it. But some of the relationships do look sketchy. And I'm going to tell you this. While I don't know if this anonymous tip is true about Jay-Z, I will say I found it interesting that his name was one of the names to trend. And I don't know who Jay-Z pissed off, but somebody is sending a warning to him. Somebody. And it also seems like they're sending a warning to Pusha T too. But anyway, I'm going to move on and talk about Nicki Minaj because she did react to Jay-Z's name being brought up in those files. But also I do want to talk about her appearing with Donald Trump at his summit at the Treasury Department. And she received a lot of backlash for appearing with Donald Trump, but I do think she was definitely in it to get something. And so far, she said that she finalized her citizenship paperwork. And some might say that she probably is aligning herself with Trump to get a pardon for her husband or to maybe get money. I think that she's more so doing it for protection, and she's trying to seek vengeance on all the people who caused her harm behind the scenes. Now, I don't think in the long run her being so pro-Trump is going to help her necessarily. So to see her glazing Donald Trump, I mean, it was too much. It's too much, and I don't really like to see it. But I know she has to be getting something out of this, and the MAGA party is getting something out of her too. And a lot of celebrities are low-key Team Trump, a lot of them, like Nelly, Snoop Dogg, and Kim Kardashian tries to be low-key about it, but she has linked up with Trump for her own initiatives. And not to mention, she's actually really good friends with Trump's daughter, Ivanka. Also, NBA YoungBoy is a supporter of Trump because Trump pardoned him.
To make America slime again. Like, what does that title mean to you?
I think the difference is people aren't really on their head as heavy is because they're not cooning and shucking and jiving and tap dancing like Nicki is. I think that's what people fail to understand. It's not just about you being a Trump supporter and you being Republican or whatever the case and having a different view. It's how you go about it. And I'm not repeating myself. I already said what I said in those Nicki videos. All right, but this is the difference.
Follow whatever Trump applying.
Follow whatever Trump applying.
Yeah.
What in what way? Like
In every way.
Also, it seems like Sexy Red is low-key MAGA too because she actually performed at Trump's advisor's wedding, which is very random. Very random. But yeah, Nicki's not the only one, but I do notice the media places a lot more focus on her. Even at the Grammys, Trevor Noah made a joke about it. And if you saw the reactions, like Jennifer Hudson was looking away. She was not amused. She was like, don't get me caught up in that. But everybody else was laughing. Chrissy Teigen was laughing, ha, ha, ha. And Nicki called them both out. She says, everyone knows Chrissy Teigen has a D, allegedly. Trevor Noah refuses to come out of the closet when everyone in the industry knows his boyfriend, allegedly. She also went at Billy Porter because Billy Porter said F her because she's pro-Trump.
Speaking of this, we're on this topic because, Nicki Minaj has been trending, over her.
I don't know. Why did he say it like that? Now, Nicki said, George Clinton, sit your stank A down. I mean, porta potty or whatever the F your name is. I don't know why this tickled me so much. I'm so immature. She also came at Lizzo, too. Now, Lizzo did speak on Nicki, and she also spoke on the Epstein files, too. And she got a lot of backlash for it.
Is every email you sent to a person or speaking about a person, does that make that person complicit? Does that make that person a bad guy? No, it doesn't. And that's the same thing with the Diddy stuff. You think every party that Diddy ever threw was a freak off and people were fucking and slipping and sliding on baby oil? No.
I'm glad she brought up Diddy though, because like I said in the other video, where there's smoke, there's fire. And for many years, there were allegations about Diddy and rumors about Diddy and speculations about Diddy. And look what ended up happening with Diddy. It's like, oh, people finally got proof. And it's like, all right, it's confirmed. So I think when the allegations start adding up and, it's like one story after the other, it does make people suspicious. But obviously there's no hard proof on any of these people at the moment. That's why nobody has been arrested. But it does make you side-eye certain people when you keep hearing allegations about them and, people accusing them of SA. And, it's just like one incident after the other over years. It's like, and it'd be the same people, So it's like, it does make you think. So I understand to a certain degree why people side-eye, some of these people. But yeah, obviously there's no hard proof yet.
And so now they're saying Mom Donnie's mom, who's a filmmaker.
Who?
They're like, oh, she's on the Epstein list because she was on a guest list for Ghislaine Maxwell's showing of a political film once. I knew she was wrong. Jay-Z, I knew he was... What did it say Jay-Z did? He was there in 1996. Come on, people. Like, y'all are falling for it.
Here's the thing. I think it's important to be like, she can say everything that she's saying, but to kind of lean on one side of them being innocent, I think is dangerous because you were not there and you don't know what the fuck is going on. So even Impressive being like, oh, I don't think that Jay-Z did that. I don't think he did that in the 90s or whatever. How would you know? You could be like, oh, that's wild, you know. You can give your take, but I always find it odd when people lean on one side or the other and be like, yeah, I don't think this happened. Or, oh, you guys are falling for it. They're just trying to set Jay-Z up. Like she's basically implying that he's innocent. So I think that's odd when y'all were not there. Y'all were not there. Or even if you are leaning on the other side and being like, yep, he did this, and yeah, he was hanging with Diddy, so of course he did, you know. Also on that side is like, you don't know because you were not there.
Easiest, oldest trick in the book. So I'm getting texts like about Nicki, and I'm like, what are you talking about? I didn't even know. Then, you know, I researched and saw what was going on, and I'm gonna say it like this: celebrities' opinions of other celebrities does not matter. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter. So my opinion of her does not matter. But what I will tell you is you're about to see an influx of people who see that it is more profitable and more beneficial to join that side. There's money behind everything. There are privileges behind every move people in these positions make. And I'm not surprised.
Now, Nicki called out Lizzo and said Fat Lizzo lost 300 pounds just to say.
Okay, she really acting like Azalea now to my Fat Lizzo, because that is one of the funniest clips of all time when Azalea Banks called Lizzo Fat Lizzo. I hate you, Fat Lizzo. So that's what she's referencing, it appears.
300 albums. So now she has loose skin and a flop album and a weird charge. Sheesh. She also
what her being fat got to do with anything, girl?
retweeted a post of Jimmy Kimmel in blackface because Jimmy Kimmel made a joke about wanting Cardi B to attack her with a shoe again simply because she is Team Trump. Also, Nicki got on Jay-Z's neck yet again. Now, Nicki has been calling out Jay-Z for some of the things that he has allegedly done to her behind the scenes, and she brought up the fact that in the Epstein files, they talked about literally sacrificing children. And she posted these pictures of Jay-Z posing with Aaliyah and Beyonce. Now, in the picture
15.
with Aaliyah was not 15.
Yeah, I'm about to say 15 and 96. That don't sound
20
right.
or 21.
Yeah.
And so she wasn't.
She don't even look 15 here. Like when she was 15, that was like age ain't nothing but a number era, and she looked very clearly like a teenager. She looks like an adult here.
Age, but in this picture, Jay-Z met Beyonce when she was 16 and he was 27. But she was calling him out for allegedly being with underage women, and she also posted a side-by-side picture of Jay-Z and
she's just setting herself up because people are gonna be like, oh, you want to talk about child predators? What about your brother? You know, what about your husband who's on the, you know? So it's just like, it's just.
And Ramir Sadoway. Ramir has alleged that Jay-Z is his father and he impregnated his mother when she was around 15 or 16 years old, allegedly. And she said, your favorite artists have been practicing rituals in a satanic cult where they take babies from other countries and mutilate and kill them as a form of blood sacrifice to their god. You see, when your master is Satan, you must constantly shed blood. However, the jig is up. They've sabotaged my documentary because I spoke on the abuse.
She's saying all this and she's showing this little demonic fucking baby doll, Chucky. Girl, and what God are you serving with the way that you're, you know, acting online? This is not of Jesus Christ.
Suffered. They've been trying to stall all my projects and hope I lose a bunch of money and beg them for help. Their leaders still think it's a joke. The destruction that's about to come down on them isn't funny. I told y'all to leave me alone. Now you'll understand why you should have just sat there and taken your meds. Nicki's out for blood. she's really out for blood, and she's emboldened now. But she has to be careful. She really has to be careful because Jay-Z, I don't know, he might take legal action against her now, but I don't really know how well that's going to pan out for him either. So I don't know. This whole thing.
It might pan out well, honestly, because I'm thinking of the other cases and how they have a lot of proof of being harassed constantly online, and allegations being made about them by people online. I think of the Milagro and Meg case and whatnot, and it's like she keeps doing this. She has multiple tweets and multiple times that she's come out and defamed this man's character. So I wouldn't say there's no case at all. Him and his team is probably gathering all of these unhinged rants. And, people thinking that, oh, it's just online, it don't mean nothing. Yes, it does. Niggas are actually getting sued in court over things like this. So
is a mess. Nicki even said that she's delaying her album. I don't even know if she's going to release her album this year. There's just a lot going on.
Surprise, surprise.
And I feel like this year is going to be a hot mess. But anyway,
y'all said that every year.
Before I end this video, I want to thank...
Girl. Sure. This is what's happening. These are the tweets that's being made. I said everything I need to say about everything that's going on. So sure, y'all let me know what y'all think about all this though, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.